Hi, it's Todd from Duerden's. Today I'm going to show you the different ice, and I'm not going to talk about the machine because all ice makers more or less look the same, but if you want to get an under-counter ice maker, you can get 3 different kinds of ice, and I'm going to show you the 4th as well. This is crescent ice. This is what you'll get from any freezer. No matter how much money you spend, even like a Sub-Zero, if it's made in the freezer, it's going to be a crescent cube. Another alternative that people like is nugget ice. This is going to be made by Scotsman or GE. If you go to Sonic, you're going to like that a lot. It tends to be soda drinkers and water drinkers love nugget ice. Cocktail drinkers don't. This is basically extruded slush, and it's not clean or distilled. So this will water down your drinks. This is cube ice. This is going to come out in a clear sheet and get melted in a grid, and then just kind of sit there in your ice maker. This is more or less distilled water because as it's freezing, all the minerals precipitate out. So you have air-free and clear ice. And then the last kind is barrel ice. Barrel ice is going to be a solid distilled water barrel that's built up in layers. The two that residential ice makers that you'll see this in are Sub-Zero and Scotsman. The heads are identical on them, so it just depends on which ones you want. Let me show you what happens when you pour a Diet Coke in these various ones. It's a good idea, or it's kind of a good way of knowing what's going to fizz up your drink. What's going to keep your drink the coldest, the longest. Cocktail drinkers really like the barrel ice because it stays cold and it doesn't melt. So it keeps integrity of your drink. Now let's just skip over to the nugget ice and see what happens from the same can. So we get a lot of foam because we have a lot of air and a lot of minerals. Now if we go to the cube ice, this is what you'll see in Marvell's and KitchenAid's are the most common 2 ice makers that use this method. It's a pretty good drink, and this is going to stay fizzy for quite a while. This one here, I'll top off the Sub-Zero ice. If I was to come back half an hour later, it would still look like this and be cold, and it would be fizzy. And of course, here's what we get from our freezer. So those are your different kinds of ice, and it's just a matter of your personal taste, which one you want. In terms of price, nugget ice will be the most expensive, but it'll also be the highest producer. This can make 60 pounds of ice a day. In general, if you clear the hopper, it'll be filled within an hour. These two are going to be priced right around the same, and of course, you've got your freezer ice.